We are back. Casey, welcome back from the holidays. Man, I am excited. We've got homebuyer classes scheduled for the next 4 months. We are back in the game on weekly updates. So today is just a short warm up, but a few things. Quick market update. We have a couple of story times. Agent beware story, buyer beware story. What happened with a renovation gone sideways, what to look out for if you're shopping for like a nicely renovated house or if that's what you're looking for. And then we've got some teasers for what's coming up in the next couple of weeks, especially next week. We're doing 2025 forecast. I'm sorry for the choppy video. Next week it'll be fixed. And Casey, I love your postcards on the wall. Do I see? That's not okay. That's not the handsome Ryan Reynolds behind you, is it?
That is Ryan Reynolds.
You're on a
I got his
Christmas card level with Ryan Reynolds.
He was the first one actually to send me a Christmas card.
Oh my gosh.
We are best friends. I don't think it's because I'm on Mint Mobile.
That has nothing to do with it, huh?
Right. Even though that's like what he's holding in the picture. I mean, it's because we're friends. So
gotcha.
So he's right. Like he's like in the middle.
That's amazing.
He gets that spot because he was first.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really cool that he took the time from his busy schedule. He owns a soccer team. He's got movies coming out, all this sort of stuff, and he's still saying, that's amazing. That's really kind. Well, okay, let's talk about markets. And it'll be really brief. It really stunk last week with the jobs report. This week, it's better. We made up for the losses, and we're back almost on even keel. We have the potential to start seeing rates fall. Right now, they're at the low sevens, maybe very high six, maybe low sevens, depending on credit. Of course, interest rates are based off of 125 factors, so there's a lot that goes into it, but that's just nationwide averages. We next week will go into what to expect on the housing market forecast, appreciation forecast, as well as interest rates this year. Could we see interest rates drop below 6%? Tune in next week. We will cover it. I'll be going in. It'll be our 2025 market forecast. Now, couple of stories. Casey, what has been going on with you? You've had an interesting. What's happened? You had a client reach out to you?
Yeah, we had a client reach out through our website and only wanted to talk through WhatsApp and wanted to buy a house in this like multi-million-dollar range, sending photos of, their private jet. And
Ryan Reynolds? Was that his name?
Yeah. I mean, he was like a Ryan Reynolds client. Just he didn't know us, but he really wanted to work with us. But when the topic of, proof of ID, buyer broker agreement came up, I haven't heard from him. So I would just say for all the agents out there, if you have someone coming on out of nowhere, they don't know you, talking big things, want to buy in crypto, kind of a little bit, just be careful with your time and get that proof of ID.
Noted.
You don't want to waste, too much time.
Crazy. Wow.
It was pretty fun though, seeing all the fun photos.
Was there, okay, just one quick question. Were they AI generated? Like, did the plane have 3 wings?
Okay.
or was it like Star Wars letters for like the plane number on the side? Did it look like a alien language?
Well, here's the thing. We did do a Google image search to see if, his dog photo in his luxury plane was already an image out there. To his credit, it wasn't. But of course, AI, right? That was my thought. Was like, you can generate anything that looks original these days. So we'll see. I wish I could share the photo with you guys. It was so funny. It was so funny. I think I said it the night before. I'm like, pretty soon we're going to start hearing about his private jet. And next day, I was getting photos.
You called it. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, so just a note to, I guess, other agents is always do your due diligence. I guess maybe that's I was always taught trust but verify. Trust but verify. Take people at their word, but verify is always a good way to go forward. And on that note, can I tell you a pretty intense story for a client? They have been diligently shopping. They found their house. Gorgeous. Total remodel. The inside was beautiful. Like just completely model, just modern and like just a great looking house. Thankfully, the house, because the house didn't have a pre-inspection report, they kept an inspection clause in the report. And thank goodness they did, because the inspector came out, looked at the house, and it really truly was a great remodel on the inside. But on the outside, it was, and the agent, this is the part that doesn't make sense. The agent said like they didn't ever get an inspection done when they did the remodel for the exterior of the home. So the roof needed to be replaced. There was mold that they found. I don't know if it was in the crawl space or the
Ruh-roh.
attic, or they said in the walls. And essentially what the inspector came back and said was like, they did a beautiful remodel. They just only did it to the drywall. They should have done it to the studs. And
No.
so there was, Casey, there was over $200,000 of estimated work that was going to be required on this home to get it. And they were unwilling to make any concessions in price. And so heartbreaking because it fell through. But thank goodness that they left that clause in there. So from your perspective as the agent, when you're writing up a contract, like, it's still a competitive market in certain situations. How can buyers protect themselves even if they're in a competitive situation where maybe they're being encouraged to waive contingencies? What do you recommend to clients?
Yeah, you have a few options. The best case scenario would be if the seller actually hired a third party company to come in and do an inspection before they even listed that you can review, because that way you don't have to pay for the inspection, you just get to review it and see what you feel comfortable with and make your offer. The other option, if it's really competitive, is to get your own pre-inspection done before you make your offer. If you're able to get like a 2-hour window of time at the house before your offer. And then the third one is in a less competitive market, which we certainly have homes now that can do this, where you can negotiate to have your inspection after you make your offer, like the scenario that you just experienced. And then you really get to see what you're okay with, what you're not okay with. But yeah, I never recommend not having an inspection, just because no matter how beautiful a house looks, exactly what you said, there could be major issues that you don't know until you have that checked out.
God, man, that's great advice. Yeah. Well, if you want to know more tips and tricks, Casey and I do a home buyer class. The next one is coming up in 2 weeks. Actually, it's going to be first Monday in February. I think that's the third. Don't quote me on that. The link will be below. We have packed, actually, we've done hundreds of hours of work into packing as much of the most important, best information that we can into a 1 hour home buyer class. If you want all the best tips and strategies in a format that's great, like, we're just trying to be respectful of your time. So we just cram it. It's like drinking from a fire hose. It's awesome. I really love teaching that class. Sign up for that next week. Market forecasts, what will interest rates do? What will home values do? Maybe we'll even toss in some fun little segment if we have time, something like ridiculous real estate. We'll see. So can't wait to see you next week. We're back in the game. Casey, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week.